Family, what's up, y'all? Thank you so much for clicking on this video, for deciding to watch this video. Listen, I have a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a while now, but I just haven't gotten to it. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten the chance, and I didn't want to really force the conversation, force the discussion, force feed the content to you all. So I felt when the time was right, and I feel like now is the time was right. I believe now is the right time for me to talk about this topic. This is something that has plagued, that has hurt, that has ruined, that has scared, that has tormented many of you. Many of you. If you're watching this, can I get a drum roll, please? And the thing that I'm talking about today is pornography. All right, watching porn and somewhat becoming addictive, but really just struggling with that ability to stop. Right? Struggling with the ability to say, you know what, today I'm not going to do it. Tomorrow I'm not going to do it. Wednesday I'm not going to do it. If that was you, then this video is for you. If you were that person who was about to run out the door and you were like, I have to get this off, so you clicked onto your phone and then you masturbated, you watched porn at that point because you couldn't contain yourself, this video is for you. If you're the person who would lie to other people, who would engage in conversations like, yeah, that's disgusting, I can't believe people do that, but behind closed doors, you're watching it yourself, then this video is for you. Or this video could be for the person who is currently struggling. Now, you may not be addicted, right? I'm not saying that I was once addicted, but I probably was close to it, all right? And so if you're that person who right now is like, yo, I need to break free from this. I want to stop because I want to live a healthier, more productive, more controlled life. I want to stop, but I just can't. Then I want you to listen to every single word that I'm about to speak. Let me start off with just letting y'all know how I was introduced to pornography. I've actually never really shared this before. I don't think I've shared this, especially online. And excuse me if you hear some background noise. My dog is down there chewing on a bone or something. But I was actually introduced at a fairly young age. I believe I was about 14 years old, and unfortunately someone who I knew who was older than me, who was an adult, he shared with me a video. He gave me the video and I popped it in, without my parents knowing. I lived with my mom, but my pops was in my life, so without my mom knowing, I popped it in and I began watching what was on the tape. But this became an everyday thing. So every single day when I would come home from school, get off that bus, I would pop it into my Xbox, I would watch what was on it, and I would masturbate, okay? So I was introduced to it at a fairly young age, probably like many other people who are watching this video, all right? And I felt it was relevant to do this video, especially at this point in my life, because I did just get to that 2-year celibacy mark, and then I did wait with my wife until marriage to have sex, right? Stop. And I just feel like it's really relevant because as I got further and further in that celibacy process, the further along I got, the harder I was fought with the devil. So I believe for almost a year straight, that first year, I wasn't watching anything. I was able to just quit. I was like, I'm not doing it. I wasn't watching anything. Wasn't watching nothing. Nothing really inappropriate. I was cool. I was strong. But one moment, and I had gave up pornography when I became celibate back in April of 2019. I believe it was April of 2019. I gave up both. I said I need to stop having sex and I need to stop watching pornography, okay? And I did that with a purpose. I did that on purpose. I did that for a reason. I did that because I knew that I needed to become more disciplined. I knew the Lord needed me to be a more disciplined young man. So I gave it up. And so fast forward, like a year in, I'm good. And in one time, I slipped up. I was in the mood. I wanted to do something, but I couldn't because of my vow that I had made with the Lord. I wanted to. And so I watched something one time, and that one time spiraled into every day, right? And to the point where it was kind of out of control, right? And see, we think when we're watching it, we're like, okay, you know what, this is gonna be my last time. How many of you have told yourself, okay, this is gonna be my last time? Okay, I'm gonna watch it this day, I'm gonna watch it this Wednesday is gonna be my last time. And then you find yourself the very next day or the next morning or whatever doing your thing, watching it. Because it's literally a stronghold. People who may not be super spiritual, people who may not be into as you know, spiritual, religious talk or lingo or knowledge, you got to understand that some of us have literally been bonded with pornography. Some of us literally it's a stronghold over your life. It's like you're bonded with it and you can't break free. And this is how I know that you have a bond with this pornography thing, that this is almost a spirit that you can't break free from, because someone's in bondage, they're shackled up, they're enslaved, because their choice to get free, it's not easy for them to just say, you know what, I'm done, I'm going, I'm out of here. Nope. That would defeat the whole word, the whole purpose of being enslaved, of being in bondage. You're there against your will. Your will couldn't even get you to stop watching porn. And I was that person. My will couldn't even get me to stop watching it. It took a spiritual journey. It took me talking to the Lord. It took me identifying the source, which I'm gonna get into in a second. It took me telling somebody, which helped hold me accountable. And it took me vocalizing that I had an issue. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I do apologize to my dog. You know, he barks at everything. So when he hears a noise, he's gonna bark. He's a poodle. What I wanna do for you all, I just wanna read off, and there's a lot of articles and information and stuff online, obviously, that will tell you what the effects of pornography are negatively on your brain function, on your body, on your mood, all of those things. Like, it affects all of these different areas of your body. See, we think that we're just gonna go in the bathroom or go in the room, masturbate, and go on about our day, and it's not gonna have any effect on us. And that's a lie that you've told yourself. That's false. These things are scientifically proven. This is biologically proven. There are effects that are going to happen on your body, on your mind, on your emotions, on your personality if you continue to watch it. Now, I'm not the porn police. I'm not the person to come here and condemn you, to talk about you. I'm just sharing my journey, and I'm just saying, listen, it was not healthy for me because I couldn't break free. I couldn't stop if I wanted to. I never wanted to lose control to something else, such as pornography or drugs or alcohol, which are things that I struggled with in the past, but I never wanted to feel like I don't have, the control of Nate, of my desires. God wanted me to be disciplined, but I was a man of desire. I was a man of pleasure. I was a man of quick sensation. I was a man who was out of control. So, according to the rewardfoundation.org, and I'm just reading off some things online so that you who are watching this video can understand some of the effects that pornography is going to have on you if you continue to watch. Overview of porn risk. A pornography habit has the potential to cause the following problems: social isolation, withdrawal from society and social activity, feeling irritable, feeling angry or depressed, experiencing mood swings, sexually objectifying other people, engaging in risky or dangerous behavior, unhappy with your intimate partner, relationship deteriorates due to a lack of trust and respect, sexual problems, loss of interest in sex with the real partner, and the list goes on and on and on and on. I'm on my iPad right now, but earlier it says 85 studies have linked poor mental and emotional health to porn use. The effects range from brain fog and social anxiety through depression, negative body image and flashbacks. Eating disorders on the rise in young people cause more deaths than many other mental illness, and porn has a big impact on idealized notions of body image. So this thing goes deep, y'all. It goes deep. And listen, I am not here making this video saying, you know what? Don't ever in your life watch pornography. That's not my right. That's not my job. My job is to share what Nate went through, give some tips, and maybe it will bless you, maybe it'll help you, maybe it will encourage you to maybe do some things different in your life to overcome it. And so for me, like I told y'all, this was back in February, and I'm keeping it all the way real with y'all right now. This was back in February. I was watching it. Okay, I was on my way to 2 years, almost at my 2-year mark of celibacy, which was April of 2021. So since April of 2019, I had given up sex. So I'm on my way there, and I hadn't watched it in a while, but it had took one slip up, one time, one day, one moment, and I was spiraling out of control. So I'm engaged. I'm on my way to marriage. Certain areas of my life are in order. My career is in order. I have my clients and my young men that I work with. My health is thriving. My relationship with my fiance, for the most part, is going good. But behind closed doors, I was losing control because I could not control that desire to watch pornography. All right? But what helped me was, number one, I identified the source. I knew what it was. I said, Nate, every time you open up the Twitter app, you could be scrolling, seeing Bible scriptures, and then see 2 people having sex, and then boom, Nate, it's on. Now you're clicking this, clicking that, going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, how we do, and you're watching something that you really should not be watching. And so I had to come to my fiance at the time. I had to come to her, and I had to be like, yo, I've been watching it. And I want to stop. So first and foremost, you need to verbally vocalize the fact that you do want to stop, that you are uncontrolled in this area. I didn't have any control. I didn't, because I couldn't stop just like that. I needed someone to hold me accountable. So on to the next thing. So I identified it, I verbalized it. I said, Nate, you have an issue. You need to overcome this. So I shared it. I shared it with my fiance. I'm like, yo, I want to stop. Like, we're going into a period of consecration for me. I'm like, these next 90 days need to be filled with fasting and praying and reading and just holiness and more purity, because Nate cannot go into this marriage with these other spirits. Nate cannot go into this marriage with this uncontrollable desire to feed my flesh when I have a woman who is not doing that same thing. Now, that's not saying that desire to feed the flesh is going to leave. Don't get me wrong. See, that desire to feed that flesh is not going to leave. The flesh is the flesh. But remember, I told y'all earlier, this is a stronghold. See, some of y'all don't even understand that the reason that you're so stricken with this pornography addiction is because of things that your uncle did, things that your grandfather did, things that your father did. Those spirits linger and they travel and they look for hosts to get inside of. Some of y'all were bound to be addicted to pornography before you came out the womb, because your daddy was a Rolling Stone, possibly your daddy was a porn addict. And it's proven that there's a gene that literally will get passed down. Certain things that mom liked, that pops liked, certain things that they liked, certain things that they responded to with pleasure, those genes will get passed down to you. And you don't even know it. So number one, I verbalized it. I said, Nate, this is an issue. You need help. And I told my fiance, like, hey, babe, I want to stop this. We're going through this period of consecration. I want it to be a period where we really go into our marriage strong, with a strong foundation in the Lord, and just a strong belief in ourselves and things that we can do with discipline. Discipline will get you a long way in life. And so she held me accountable. She said, Nate, listen, we know the source. The source was Twitter, and I would be on Twitter quite a bit. But I actually took it off my phone eventually, because she was like, yo, you need to get that off your phone. I was fighting it for a minute. I'm like, but I use it for this, da-da-da-da-da. So I was honest. I told her, like, hey, this is the source. She said, okay, I can see that. And so from February, so basically from March, April, through May. So for those 3 months, because we got married at the end of May, for those 3 months, I was able to to withstand that urge, to withstand that fight. And eventually, as I ignored it, eventually as I prayed more, eventually as I didn't feed that idea of opening the app and going to certain people's pages, when I stopped doing that, eventually that idea just, it kind of crept out of Nate's mind. That's why it's important that you have people around you who can hold you accountable. People around you who have your real best interest at heart. People around you who are going to tell you when you're wrong, like, yo, dude, you're wrong, bro. Like, you told me that you didn't want to watch porn, or sis, you told me that you weren't going to watch it. You still been watching it. You got to do better. Not to make you feel bad, but just to let you know that I'm not going to let you just slip back into those old ways. I'm not just going to let you. I'm not going to let you. Nope, I'm not going to let you. And so I thank God that I had her there, because I was able to make it through that period, but also rolling into July. I haven't touched it. I haven't watched it. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Whatever you need to do, speak in tongues. Listen, I was able to make it all the way up until this point without watching, without really the urge to watch. Well, I'm barely on Twitter now at this point. I'm barely on it. I may tweet something randomly, but before I was spending the majority of my time on it. And so those simple things helped me. And so I dare you, anybody watching this, I dare you, okay? Verbalize it, write it down, paint it, yell it, tell somebody, listen, I want to get free from this. First, tell the Lord if you have a relationship with God. If not, take the spirituality piece out of it. Verbalize it, number one. You need to verbalize the fact that, yeah, I have an issue. This is something that I want to break free from. And yes, call it an issue, because it's not a good thing. There's no way that you can really paint this as something that's healthy, because to me, in my honest opinion, there's nothing about it that's really healthy. Nope, especially when you can't control it. It ain't like I was doing it when I I'll do it this Thursday, then I'll do it next Tuesday, then next Saturday. Nah, it was like an everyday thing. So verbalize it, right? Number two, you need to identify the source. There's something or some place, some portal that you're going to, and mine was Twitter, that was really setting this thing off. So there's something, whether it's IG, whether it's Twitter, whether it's a friend's house, whether it's a comic book, a movie, there's something that's setting this off, that's sparking it up, that's getting it started, that's getting the wheel started in your mind. So you're like, dun, 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 okay, it's almost time for me to do it. There's something that's sparking it up. And you got to be real with yourself and identify it. Boys and girls, women and men. You got to be real with yourself. You have to be real with yourself. Number three, you need to have somebody, and if you have a partner, if you're in a relationship, if you're married, if you have that person that you feel you can be honest with and not feel judged about this, because people can feel shamed when talking about pornography and masturbation. You need to go to them and be honest and be like, yo, I need your help. I need your support. I need you to hold me accountable. And maybe start off small. Say, you know what? I'm not going to watch for this next month or for this next week, and then work your way up. I think people, when we talk about celibacy and when we talk about removing certain things from my life, we think of like, okay, I just got to give it up cold turkey for the next 10 years, for the rest of my life. Take a small sample size, give it 15 days, give it 30 days, give it a few weeks, and then you gradually build. I always say, setting goals gives you direction, achieving them gives you confidence. So you need to have some direction that you're going in, and then as you achieve those smaller goals along the way, that's going to build that confidence. You have your direction and then you have your confidence. You need them both. With anything in life, you need them both. So listen, I wanted to do this video because I know there are a lot of people who struggle with pornography. There are a lot of people. And see, the thing about pornography is that pornography, believe it or not, can be a stronghold. You think that this is just your release for a few minutes, for a few seconds, and then you go on about your business. But the fact of the matter is, you're enslaved, like I mentioned earlier, because you can't just stop if you wanted to. You can't just break free if you wanted to. You can't just walk away. I've been there. I've been that guy. Trust me, I know. But the problem is with this, and this is what the Lord spoke to me. God said, Nate, I need you to be a man of discipline. You're just a man of desire. I need you to be a man of discipline. You're just a man of desire at this point. You're feeding these things which are taken away from your ability to be a disciplined man. And I'm not the police. I'm not condemning anybody. I'm not talking down on anybody. But what I'm saying is I was able to give it up. And I struggled with it throughout the celibacy period for a while. I was able to give it up. And you can too. You can do the same thing. You can do the exact same thing. Because in my humble opinion, there is nothing healthy about this struggle. There's nothing healthy about this struggle with pornography. This is a fight. The Bible says we wrestle not with flesh and blood. This ain't a flesh and blood fight. You're fighting with a ruler of another world. Don't make me get spiritual on y'all now. You're fighting with the ruler of another world. See, the enemy, if we want to go spiritual, the enemy has his hands all on this. There's nothing good about this porn sector, about the OnlyFans stuff, because and then what it does is for the men who God has called to do a great work, it'll throw you off so quick, because then what you're watching, you may want to see other women do it. If your girl, your fiance, your wife is not doing those things, now you kind of empty, you kind of bored. You're like, man, I might have to go get it somewhere else. And then there's adultery, and then there's fornication, and then there's lying, and then there's stealing, and the sins grow and grow and grow and grow because of this stronghold called pornography. Men and women struggle with this issue. You got to be real with yourself. You have to verbalize it and say, you know what, this is something that I'm struggling with. This is something that I know the Lord hasn't sent to me to do. And I've got to break free from it. I have to break free from this bondage state of mind, because it's a state of mind. Once your things get jacked up here, once your mind is jacked up, woo, you can kiss everything else goodbye. Yep. Listen, I pray to God that this video blessed you, that there was just something that stuck out that helped you. My job is to just be transparent. I only know how to be Nate. I don't try to be like anybody, sound like anybody else, but I really felt compelled to share this video just to kind of give y'all some insight on some things that I have struggled with, that I have overcame thus far. Doesn't mean that it won't come back, that it's not a struggle, that the enemy won't still try to get me slipped up. But it does mean that right now I'm winning this battle. And so if I can share some tips to y'all to let y'all know how I'm winning this battle, then that makes all the difference in the world to me. So subscribe to my channel if you have not. Make sure you like this video below. Make sure you hit the bell, the notification bell, so that you can get notifications every time that I post something. Leave comments and let me know if you like this video, if you didn't like the video, or any other video topics that you may want me to touch on. But like I said, y'all, my job is to not sound perfect, is to not lead anybody on to think that I have it all together, that I know everything. I don't. I just know how to be authentic, share tips with you guys, and hope and pray that it blesses you. So make sure you add me on Instagram at Nate Jameson Speaks. Add me on Twitter at Speak Nate Speak. Add me on Facebook at Nate Jameson Motivation. My clubhouse is Speak Nate Speak. And as you can see, there's a picture of me and my wife over there. But listen, I love you all. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a blessed day. Hit me up, DM me, talk to me so that we can connect.